Do you feel like you can talk to anyone? Like if you got a phone call out of the blue, you could answer it, chat with this person you haven't spoken to in years, and feel comfortable doing so? Do you feel like you can trust yourself to strike up conversation with someone in the elevator? If not, totally normal. That's not always easy to do. And it is so worth learning and training yourself to be comfortable and confident talking to anyone in any situation. And in this video, I will explain why. I believe that one of the greatest life skills we can have is high levels of social confidence. Now, when I say social confidence, what I'm referring to is the confidence to speak to people, to socialize, to interact with other people. And this doesn't only affect our social lives and our friend groups. This actually infiltrates every other aspect, almost every other aspect of our lives and our fulfillment and our success, actually. And I'm going to outline why. Now, a common misconception is that people are born as social butterflies, or that that's innate to our personality. Now, to some degree, that is true. There are certain personalities and certain people that are more naturally disposed to be comfortable in social settings, to want to connect with other people. And there are other personality types that are perhaps a little more reserved and like to stick to themselves. But confidence, especially social confidence, is absolutely a learned skill. I know this because I have learned it myself. I'm naturally incredibly introverted. I am a writer, for goodness sakes. I'm a poet. I can spend all day by myself and be perfectly content. And I've learned that overcoming my shyness and improving my ability to connect with just about anyone has changed my life in so many ways, more than just my social life. It's helped me professionally, it's helped giving me the courage to record these sorts of videos, and it's helping me live my purpose, which again, I will explain in more detail as we go through the video. And at the end, I'm going to share what I believe is the most powerful way and a relatively simple practice that you can put into play to improve your social confidence. Now, I'm drawing a lot of this on my own personal experience, coupled with my 10 years of teaching public speaking and speech coaching, which includes social skills, it includes speaking confidence, and I get to hear from people all the time about their deepest insecurities when it comes to speaking up and connecting with other people. And I've seen firsthand how it's changed so many people's lives, just being able and feeling comfortable connecting with other people. So if you're interested in this topic in particular, I encourage you to sign up for my newsletter because I do share more in-depth speaking tips in that newsletter, as well as just overall confidence and inspirational, encouraging, motivational, poetic material. So the link for that is in the description. But without further ado, 3 reasons why our social confidence is the most important life skill. 1, professional success. No matter what industry you're in, you probably have to interact with other people. The ability to connect with other people and to feel confident communicating and chatting and networking is huge. Whether you're delegating tasks or receiving tasks that are being delegated to you, or interacting on a team, or selling, obviously that's a big one. Communication and speaking skills are vital if you're trying to sell. But whatever it is, even if you're just trying to connect with people in your industry, having comfort and confidence socializing with other people is imperative to professional success. Now, you may be thinking, that's cute, maybe a decade ago, but we're living in a tech age where we can pretty much conduct our lives online. I don't actually have to talk to anyone to run a successful business. I mean, I do because I'm a speech coach, but a lot of people don't. I could theoretically, and you could theoretically, if you haven't already, start an online business where you're not speaking to anyone ever. You have no colleagues. You get AI to do things for you, and voila, no social interaction. However, that's a longer discussion on the negative implications of that. But even if you're doing that, chances are you will want to be able to share about the work that you're doing in life with other people. And chances are there's at least someone else that you're working with. So maybe not. Maybe you're 100% tech-based, but I think the majority of the population, at least right now in June of 2025, has some degree of communication with other people when building their business. And even if you don't, or even if it's limited, you probably still learn from other people. So I know, for example, as I'm starting my own online business, I have been consuming so much content by other YouTubers, by people offering courses and workshops online. And even though I'm not directly interacting with those people, I'm still consuming their information and getting some human content. And then when I run into a roadblock, I have had to call people. I've had to call Amazon KDP when I had an issue publishing my book. I had to call the people at Atticus when I was trying to publish my book. I have called and interacted with actual humans to get help. So even if you're not talking to people all the time, having the ability and the confidence to do so can elevate your success. It can take you to the next level. Because let's say you are running an internet business and you don't need to talk to anyone, the ability to network and to sell and to show up and to present yourself in a way that feels compelling to people can only take your business to the next level. But if you're a person who's working a more traditional job and you do have colleagues and coworkers and you network, then you understand the importance of social confidence and the ability to speak to people on a regular basis and how that can help all of your meetings go more efficiently. It can help you have a more pleasant life at work. It can help you create a better relationship with your coworkers, your boss, your clients, whoever it is that you're interacting with in the workplace. Now, that brings us to the second point, which is social confidence obviously can improve our social lives. They say loneliness is more detrimental to our health long term than smoking cigarettes. And I believe it. I know this man who was so healthy. He exercised all the time. He ate a very clean diet. He was incredibly creative. He was very successful in his job, but he lived alone, never got married, never had children, didn't even have a pet. So he just lived alone, and he had good friends. He had some friends in a community, but not a ton. He didn't do a ton of socializing, and overall he was very lonely. He was good friends with my mom, but they lived across the country from each other, so they would talk on the phone, and he would say that he was, just generally pretty lonely. She was one of his closest friends, but they talked, first thing in the morning, and then he was pretty much isolated the rest of the day. And he ended up developing Alzheimer's at a pretty young age, and his health just totally declined, his mental health. Physically, he's still, I think, in pretty good shape because of all the care he's taken of his body, but his neurological health, his mental health just declined. And I think, I have no idea, I haven't seen the man in years, but I think that a large part of that was because he was just lonely and he didn't have support around him. And I see this with my mom too. She is so surrounded by her family and her loved ones that even though she's navigating a very difficult health diagnosis, she's outlived doctors' prognoses for her life. And I think it's because she's so surrounded by friends and by family who love her, and that social interaction is injecting new life into her. So, building your social confidence is not only going to help you have a more active social life just for the fun of it, but it actually can be better for your physical health, for your long-term for your longevity, for your quality of life in this world. Everyone wants friends, and they're not so easy to come by these days because we can live in isolation. We can spend all our day on our phones or on our computer, and we don't necessarily have to go out of our way to make friends because we can just scroll and feel like we're being connected to other people. I've noticed for myself, even though I really like to socialize and I like to be in person with people, I don't do it that much, at least not as much as I used to, because one, I'm mostly with my family, which is social in another way, but also because I've been writing a lot, I've been doing a lot more on the computer, and I just haven't been as intentional about pursuing it. And we have to be extra intentional about it, more so than in the past when we had naturally embedded social circles when you're in school or if you're at an office and things like that. You naturally will have more social interaction. But now we have to be all that much more intentional, which becomes a lot easier when you feel socially confident. So for myself, what I can say is, even though I haven't been as intentional lately, I know that if I tried, I could make friends pretty easily. And I know that whenever I do get out of my house and go to an event, I connect with people there. I feel comfortable chatting with people, and it's such a liberating feeling, because I used to get so intimidated and scared to go to a social event, especially if I was by myself. But now I don't even think twice about it. I just go, I have fun conversations. Sometimes I exchange information and that can lead to a friendship later. But a lot of times I just go and I have fun socializing and connecting, and that makes me feel less lonely. So that brings us then to our third benefit of building social confidence. Not only is it good for our professional lives and career success and our social skills and friendship circles, but I believe that social confidence is an integral part of us living our purpose. Why do I say that? Well, most people, if not everyone, feels called to be of service in some way. Everyone's purpose is to give back in some way, whether you realize it now or not. I've had so many conversations with people who are like, oh my gosh, it finally occurred to me, I just want to help people. And I think that at our core, that's all anyone wants. Yes, we have other desires too. I, for example, love acting, and sometimes I think, how is that helping people? How is that giving back? But in a way, it is giving back through entertainment. But at the same time, I know that if I were to pursue a career as an actress, I can't say that I know because I haven't done it, but I don't think I would be 100% emotionally fulfilled, because I would want to give back in a more meaningful way for me. And I think that's probably why a lot of actors have foundations and have charities, and they donate, or they teach classes, they do something else to give back to the world. I have a lot of conversations with executives who say, the thing that really has been lighting me up lately is running the mentorship program or running the internship program, because there's something so rewarding about being able to help other people and give guidance and inspire other people. So where does this come into social confidence? Well, that directly involves other people. Yes, you can donate money from the comfort of your own home and not actually interact with anyone, but I don't think the feeling you'll get of sending a donation is going to be the same as the feeling you would get if you worked one-on-one with an individual, helping them overcome their limiting beliefs to get to where you are, and you're giving them advice and inspiration or whatever it is that lights you up when it comes to helping other people. But that feeling comes when we're interacting with the person or a group of people. And that is so much easier when we feel confident in ourselves, when we trust ourselves to be able to communicate clearly with other people, when we have the confidence to socialize in that sense. meaning we have the confidence to share our ideas. We have the confidence to talk with people and give them the information that we think would be helpful for them. I'm realizing how important this is as I'm promoting my book and really my online business. I have such a strong aversion right now to feeling salesy. I try so hard in every video lately to mention my free resources and my online course, and I every time I do it I'm like, oh, I hope they don't think I'm salesy, because I'm not trying to be salesy, but I know that this material that I'm offering can potentially help you. And I know that because the feedback I've gotten is that it's helped people. The online course that I released called Show Up Sure, it's not expensive for most people. It's $27.99, but the feedback I've gotten is that it's changed people's ability to show up and speak with other people without anxiety, when before they had higher levels of social anxiety. It's given students the courage to interact with other people. But part of me is so afraid to say that because I don't want to sound salesy. I don't want to be pushy. Even my free resources, I hesitate to mention because I don't want it to seem like I'm just trying to push my agenda, but it's free, and the feedback I've gotten has all been positive. Is that, wow, that was really helpful for me. So I'm sharing this to say, part of that comes down to our confidence and our social confidence. And so I'm working on that actively, and it's been tremendously helpful. The ability for me to go in person and speak to someone and say, hey, I just released a book and here's what it's about. I'm not selling it, I'm sharing. I'm sharing that information. And so for anyone, no matter what your dream or your goal or your long-term life purpose is, I am 100% sure that it involves giving back to people in some way. And that looks different for everybody. But whatever it is that you have to offer, someone needs. And the more confident you feel conversing with other people and sharing your gifts, the more people it will reach. The more people you will affect in the best way. So, top 3 reasons why social confidence is one of the most important, if not the most important life skill, is 1, professional success, 2, your social life, you don't want to be lonely, and 3, fulfilling your life's purpose is so much easier when you feel confident enough to talk about it and to share your ideas and your skills and your insight with other people. So, how do we do that? How do we build our social confidence? I go a lot deeper into this in the course that I just mentioned called Show Up Sure, Secrets to Embody Confidence for a Lifetime. The link to that is in the description. But one of the biggest tips that I can give, and what I've seen really help my clients, is this: talk to one stranger every day. Strike up conversation with a person you don't know every single day. And if you don't have the opportunity to speak to a stranger, maybe call someone you haven't talked to in a long time. That can count too. So if you think like, oh, it's storming outside, I'm not leaving my house today, and you don't have a chance to talk to a stranger, you can make it someone that you're not super comfortable with. But the more practice that you have striking up conversation with novel communication partners, the more you will learn to trust yourself that you can talk to anyone. You can talk to anyone. You're not going to die. You're going to be okay, and chances are you're going to make their day. So where can you do this? Go to the grocery store. Don't order your groceries online. Don't use self-checkout. Go to the grocery store, talk to the cashier, ask them how their day's going. This is the easiest one. This is the one that people are like, wow, I'm surprised how chatty cashiers are. And it will make their day better because they're probably kind of bored. I know at my local supermarket, the people that work there are so bored because they just put in self-checkout lanes, and they're just kind of like, please use my lane. So go out of your way to do that. When you go to a restaurant, you don't want to keep the waiter at your table for too long, especially if you're in the United States, because they're working for tips and so they probably want to get going, but you can have a simple, quick, polite conversation with them as well. Call support instead of using an email. That's just another strategy in general. Call over email whenever you can, because that'll give you an opportunity to practice speaking. And again, if you want more specific guidance on that, check out the course, Show Up Sure. There's a free 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't benefit from it, you can get your money back. And I also offer individual coaching. So if you have any questions or want some tips, or you're feeling really blocked or stuck in your social confidence, feel free to reach out. Check out the free resources that I have linked in the description. One of those is a poetic pep talk that includes some poetry, but also just a little inspirational pep talk that one of the people who listened to it said it made him cry in a good way, and it was inspirational and moving. So feel free to download that if it's helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun. Have fun out there talking to people.